welcome to Math Companion. All right, to solve this, we are just going to consider what is inside the common square root. Now, I'm going to write this 10 plus 2, the square root of 21. Now, let us evaluate this carefully because I have two parts. I have 10 plus 2, the square root of 21. For me, this one looks like um, an expansion, a binomial expansion, whereby it is simply a plus b squared, which is equals to a squared plus b squared plus 2, the square root of, not square root, plus 2ab, plus 2ab. All right. Now, clearly, we can compare a squared plus b squared to 10. So we can say a squared plus b squared is equals to 10. Then we have 2ab should be compared to 2, the square root of 21. Now this 2 and that 2 cancels out. Now, actually, we are forming a new system of equation that looks like this: a squared plus b squared is equals to 10, and then ab is equals to 21, the square root of 21. Now, to get rid of this square root, we are going to square both sides, and therefore the new system of equation further develops to a squared plus b squared is equals to 10, and then ab, so ab squared, it's the same as a squared b squared, which is equals to 21. Now, our next step is to actually see how better we can solve this. But to make it a little easy, probably we need to do a quick substitution here. We are going to put m to be equals to a squared and n to be equals to b squared. So again, now rewriting this, we are going to simply have m plus n is equals to 10, and then mn is equals to 21. Now we go ahead to solve for m and n, which is going to be m, in this case, if you move n to this side, we are going to have m is equals to 10 minus n. Now we do the replacement in the second part of the equation, which is mn is equals to 21. Now instead of writing mn, now I'm going to replace m with 10 minus n, which is going to be 10 minus n multiplied by n is equals to 21. Opening the brackets, we are going to get 10n minus n squared is equals to 21. Clearly, this is a quadratic equation, which we can reorganize as n squared minus 10n plus 21 is equals to 0. Now, we need to figure out what two numbers, when you add, you're going to get negative 10, but when you multiply, you get 21. So negative 10 over here, the two numbers, when I add, I get negative 10. When I multiply, I'm going to get positive 21. So the two numbers are actually negative 3 and negative 7. When you add these two, you're going to get negative 10. When you multiply, you will get positive 21. And then on this end here, we know n squared can be split into n multiplied by n. And therefore, our solution for this is simply going to be n minus 3, n minus 7 is equals to 0. So therefore, the answers are n is equals to 3, while m is equals to 7. Sorry, I'm sorry, the first solution for n is equals to 3. The first solution, the next solution for n2 is equals to 7. Now, when n is 3, m is 7. And when n is 7, our m is equals to 3. So they keep on swapping. And because of the swapping, we don't need really to consider both options. We just focus on this first option. Now we know we consider this first case here. I meant this first case over here. Now, and while we consider, it means we are going to go back to the substitution that we did earlier, whereby now we said our m is equals to was equals to a squared. Now m, which is equals to 7, and n, which is equals to 3, and vice versa. So our m is just equal to a squared. So you can say a squared is equals to 7. And then here, this is b squared, which is equals to 3, which therefore means a is equals to the square root of 7. B is equals to the square root of 2. Now, let us go back to our initial step whereby we said our very, very, very initial step here. We had said that 10 plus 2, just a reminder of how we started it all from the beginning. Let me do it in red. So we said 10 plus 2, the square root of 21, can simply be compared as a plus b squared. Now, we already know what is a and b, right? So 10 plus 2, the square root of 21, is equals to, instead of a, I'm going to use the square root of 7. Instead of b, I'm going to use the square root of 3 squared. And now in the original equation, we had a square root here. We had a square root. And over here, therefore, we are going to have a square root. Now, a square root and a square, remember, the square root of 7 plus the square root of 3 into bracket squared. So it cancels out with the square root. And therefore, we can conclude that we can make a conclusion that 10 plus 2, the square root of 21, under the square root, can be simplified as the square root of 7 plus the square root of 3. All right, so this is the final answer. All right, okay, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to get updated every time we post super interesting questions. Bye bye, have a great day.